Welcome back to GAA Fan TV. My name is Aaron. It was Dublin 5-17, Kildare 1-15. The game, of course, taking place yesterday, but as I said yesterday in the post-match reaction of Kerry and Limerick, I was in the pub watching all the various sport that was going on yesterday. It was certainly a lot to keep up with. I just rewatched the game, just watched it back there now, and I have to say, what a performance from Dublin. A brilliant performance. 5-17 speaks for itself. 5 goals inside 27 minutes. Absolutely incredible. And finishing with 5-17, actually the joint highest scoreline from Dublin or from any side in a Leinster senior football final. Absolutely incredible stuff from the Dubs there. From a Kildare perspective, you'll certainly be very disappointed. I mean, first half they just never got going. But I think Dublin were just really good. And sometimes, you can point the finger and say, oh, well, this team were really good, so the other team were not good. But Kildare just weren't allowed to get into the game at all. I thought they just really struggled in and around midfield from the kick out as well, from Mark Donnellan's kick out. They just couldn't really get much feet on the ball, or hands on the ball, I should say. Struggling in possession. Defensively, they were all over the place as well. Like, there was no physicality in the tackle. Like, Dublin were just able to waltz through. And I think, like a lot of teams in the Leinster Championship down the years, and like a lot of teams when they've played Dublin, we've seen it with Meath last weekend as well. Like, their heads just went, really. Their heads went, really, after the second and third goal went in. And I think Dublin, with the fact that we haven't been free scoring goals this year, like, that has been maybe a concern from some Dublin fans, and something that some neutral fans have pointed out as well. We haven't been free scoring with goals this year, but what a way to shut that up with 5 goals inside 27 minutes. Absolutely incredible. Can't remember the last time Dublin, or any team any team by that stretch, has scored 5 goals inside 27 minutes of a Gaelic football match, a senior Gaelic football match, to be honest. It's just absolutely extraordinary stuff, really. Brian Fenton was excellent around midfield. Tom Lahiff was very good as well. James McCarthy was excellent. I know Con O'Callaghan won man of the match, and that's fair enough. He scored 1-5. Well, actually, I haven't seen who won man of the match, but I know Con O'Callaghan was most people's man of the match, and that's fair enough. He scored 1-5, and he was very, very good. And you could give man of the match really to a whole host of players, really. But I thought Fenton was just very, very good. Especially from Kildare's kick out, like the way we won the ball back, the high catches in there. Sean Bugler was very good as well. James McCarthy was excellent. And just the way that Dublin, the energy that they played with, they were first to every ball, they were lunging into tackles, an absolute role reversal from what it was like from Dublin in the league. And it's almost like the Dublin play like that on purpose throughout the league to try con people into thinking that they weren't going to be good this year. I don't know. Maybe they did, because it's just, it's night and day watching this Dublin team and the team that played in the league. And there's a long way to go yet. Quarterfinals obviously up next for the Dubs, and could be a tough draw, might be a more favourable draw. And then possibly, most likely, a meeting with Kerry in an All-Ireland semi-finals. And that's going to be the real acid test for Dublin, but also the real acid test for Kerry as well. And interesting enough, you could have a situation where both of those two sides are going into the All-Ireland semi-finals without a real test, depending on obviously how the quarterfinal draw works. So, Dublin excellent from the get-go. Just blew Kildare away. As I said, Kildare's heads just really went, when those goals started flying in. Like, even for the 4th goal, there was no tracking back at all from the Kildare defence. They were just cut open like a knife through butter. They really, really were. And I couldn't live with Dublin's intensity, pace. And, in the second half, they started playing a little bit better, but Dublin just really did take the foot off the gas. And when you're that far in front, it's completely understandable. I was nearly switching off watching the game myself, to be perfectly honest, towards the end there, because it was so comfortable. And Kildare, for me, they just struggled to get their big players on the ball. Like, I know Jimmy Hyland finished with 1-4. Sign of a very good player, by the way. Like, he wasn't really on the ball much at all. Didn't have too much to do in the game. Still finished with 1-4 against Dublin. That's not too bad. But Daniel Flynn, other than that incredible moment of magic where I think he dribbled around like 3-4 players and then fired a shot wide. He was fairly anonymous in the game. They couldn't really get ball into him. Derek Kirwan as well. And, I said in the preview or in the podcast, Kildare, they needed to go at Dublin. They needed to run at Dublin really take the game to them. And to be fair to them, they did. They kicked the opening score of the game. And there was a couple of moments there early on, but like as they say, everyone has a plan until you're punched in the face, and that's just what happened. Dublin got the goals. Kildare's confidence just went massively, and it was just game over. Like the referee could have called full time after 16, 17 minutes, and I don't think anyone would have really cared, to be honest. Sharon says here, what an absolute performance. I was shouting at the telly. Porrick says Dublin are class. Kildare, if in Ulster Championship could win a provincial system all over the place, new type of championship badly needed. Sharon also says I definitely have strong favourites for the All Ireland. I presume Sharon's talking about Dublin there. Yeah, look, Dublin are going to be thereabouts. Definitely make no mistake about that. With this level of performance, with the way they played against Kildare, against Meath, and defensively as well, definitely a lot of improvements in this game. They didn't seem as open as what they were against Meath at times. There wasn't I know they scored a goal, Kildare, but they didn't have too many goal chances. Lee Gannon had a very good game. Owen Merchant, again, just adds something different to this Dublin side when he plays. He's the closest player we have to a Jack McCaffrey. Probably doesn't, obviously doesn't have the same output going forward, but in terms of that sort of energy driving forward, he's about the closest to what we have. John Small was good as well with a goal. And yeah, for Kildare, they just weren't good enough, unfortunately. And in the first half, Dublin just blew them away, and that's kind of just how it is. And as Porrick was saying there, I know obviously the championship structures, when you see results like this, and you see results like in the Munster Championship, you do wonder, what needs to change. For me, I think more emphasis needs to go into coaching for these teams, games development officers. More emphasis has to be put into your Kildares, your Meads, your Longfords, your Westmeads, rather than just fixing the championship structure, because even fixing the championship structure might not, it might make things a little bit more competitive, but in the long run, I don't know if it helps the weaker counties, really. Do you know what I mean? I still think you're going to see results like this. It mightn't be Dublin playing Kildare, it might be Kerry playing Kildare, but you'll probably get the same type of outcome. So, and I think Kildare can definitely play a lot better. And look, it is a young Kildare team. We have to stress that. Not too many of those Kildare lads would have played in Leinster finals in packed crowds. I know some of them played in the Leinster final last year, but it is a young team. It's the first year under this management of Glenn Ryan, Dermot Early, all those lads. And look, it hasn't gone according to plan. Make no mistake about that. But they'll need to take this defeat. They'll need to learn from it going into the qualifiers. Look, you could get a draw. You could get a favourable draw there. There's a 50% chance you get a team that you can beat. Either Cork or Louth. You'd fancy Kildare. Kildare have already beaten Louth already convincingly this year. Should have enough to beat Cork if they come through there, and they should have enough to get past either a Clare or Meath. Will be tough games, but there's a 50% chance there that Kildare could get a favourable draw in a qualifier. Then you're in an All-Ireland quarter-final, and I think it's bonus territory then. It's been a successful year then from a Kildare perspective, but they just need to build on it going into 2022. Ray says, so Dublin hammer Kildare, and Kerry hammer Limerick. Change is needed to the system. Yeah, some kind of change is definitely needed. I don't think they should get rid of provincial championships, because you look at Ulster and Connacht, two very good provincial championships there, but they definitely do maybe need to change the system a little bit, definitely. Absolutely. Porrick says as well, Dublin first ever 12 in provincial titles, new record. Not even Kerry won 12 in a row Munster titles. And yeah, and you'd have to say, by the way it's looking at the minute, Dublin could probably get to 14 or 15 in a row. There is good underage players coming through Kildare at the minute, and as I said, if they can build on it, although Dublin, the age profile of the Dublin squad is quite good, but there is still some lads in that side that are getting on a bit and will need replacing in the next couple of seasons. So it's not inconceivable that Kildare, sort of close the gap. Mead and Kildare aren't stepping up. I'm not saying that name, by the way, but nice try, my friend. Nice try. So yeah. Anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Yeah, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. All the rest. There will be a reaction now for Galway Roscommon. We'll be doing a live watch along stream with John McMahon of the JMAC podcast for the Derry and Donegal Ulster final. Very excited to see the Ulster final indeed, and that should be a cracking game. Definitely the main event of the weekend. Make no mistake about that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Cheers anyone who tuned in.